It's raining offensive line commits, and alongside the senior recruiting analyst for Warchant.com, he is Michael Langston. My name is Tom Lang, and you can see it at the bottom of the screen. Michael, offensive lineman Tye Hylton has committed to Florida State, the second in short order for the Noles, as Jonathan Daniels decided on Thursday night, the 13th of the month, that he was going to join FSU's class. So this is now number 2 in terms of the offensive line recruiting board to commit to Florida State and fortify their class. Your thoughts on Mr. Hilton committing to Florida State?
Yeah, I felt really confident they were going to get both. Jonathan pulled a little surprise in I guess late afternoon on Thursday and said, "Hey, forget that, man. I'm going to be the first one to jump on board." So, got Daniels and then Hilton. I felt like was coming. I did a story. I logged a prediction for FSU. I felt like from the start there was a consistent message from FSU, like we want you, we covet you, even when he was just things were just starting before the Kentuckys and the Georgias and the Miamis and all these teams got involved. FSU was the heavy team that was in there, got him on campus, even the sophomore and junior. And I think he was always there, and there was always a connection both with Hilton and his family that he felt that was stronger than I guess any other place. And I think he liked kind of what FSU sold him of the ways they're going to use him. I think he's very versatile. I think you could use him at center. I think you can use him at even one of the tackle positions. He's comfortable playing left or right, so it's not a situation where you're just playing right tackle. I think he can do either one. I think center position too. After they lost Jason Zandamela to Southern Cal, I think he was the next one in line that I'd heard a lot about. That early, even when Zandamela was looking good for FSU, that hey, this is a guy that I think they would take because they want centers in this class. That's one of their biggest wants in this class is adding centers, and I think this kid can definitely play that position. Hits the second level really well on his blocks. Really good beginning part of the blocks. Really good on the finishing part of the blocks. I think really, if you're looking for a thing that you want to improve, is just the middle part of hand placement, getting it the right place, moving, putting your footwork and getting the footwork the right place. And we know with Atkins, with his development, certainly that's not going to be a problem. And I think his versatility makes him such an attractive, prospect offensive line for FSU out of Oviedo, Florida.
Do you think, Michael, that's why the ranking system, they have him a little bit lower in other services, in terms of offensive tackle rating? Because if you look at
Mhm.
some of the services, they list him as a tackle. One service has him near 100 in the country. On3 has him just outside the top 40 as an offensive tackle. Is the rating based upon just looking at him from that perspective rather than a versatile offensive line weapon? Do you think that's why he's at 3 stars currently?
Yeah, I do. I think eventually he's going to be. I don't know where level he will be, but I think he'll be a 4-star type of guy when people see because from a coaching standpoint, it's good that you get a guy that's versatile and stuff. But from a ranking standpoint, sometimes that affects guys. And we've seen that with Jonathan Daniels, who was a 5-star on some network on 3 for a while. Then
Mm-hmm.
he moved over to 4-star. Most people are consensus now that 4-star. So when you play a lot of positions, it's great for recruiting and what they can add to your team. But it's also hard to project kind of where they're going to eventually end up. So I definitely think that plays a part in. And I think more eyes get on Tye that he will get that boost in ranking. And this is a guy that I mean, you look at his history of eye evaluations and what Alex looks for, and he fits kind of everything. He checks off all the boxes that you look for on the offensive line, the way he blocks in space, the way he moves and pulls, the way he finishes blocks. It seems like an Alex type of player, and I think he's a really good fit because, like as I said, even with Daniels, he's a guy that you can bring on at your pace because you don't want to have your whole team full of just transfers all the time. You want to have guys that you can bring along slowly, kind of like a Daughtry Richardson, a Jalen Early, guys like Julian Armello, guys like that. I think he kind of fits that mold that he's going to come in there and by the second year after he gets his strength and conditioning, the nutrition and the upgrading of strength within the system and adjusting to the speed of college at FSU. I think he's second year. He's going to be a guy that's going to be impacting for that lineup.
Yeah, there's no doubt. You can see in that highlight, the one that just ran, he's got finish to his game. Hilton does, so there's that nasty edge. But he's always on the move, Michael. I'm looking at these clips.
Yes.
At this particular high school, Oviedo, he's out there in screen games. He's out there pulling, even from it's left tackle that he's playing because he's their best offensive line. But look at him; he gets to the second level with no problem. Look at that finish on that play.
Yeah.
This is the kind of guy that Alex Atkins really likes, because whether you're a tackle, guard, or center on this offensive line, they're going to move you around at Florida State.
Yeah, and we've seen that with Jalen Early. You look at Jalen Early. I've heard a lot of positive things about him. He kind of there's similarities to that, not size wise, but just the versatility wise. That he can do a lot of different things, and they use him in a lot of different ways. And versatility is something Atkins loves. You see a lot of his guys. You see it with Darius Washington. He's played some at right tackle. He's played some interior when they need him. So you want to move a guy around, and when you have a guy that can do so many different things, that's great. Like I said, for schools like FSU, it makes it hard to project because you're not doing on one position. But a guy that can do a lot of things at a great level, I think, is certainly an attractive thing for him. And as I mentioned from the start, like these two with Daniels and Hilton were the guys that I'd heard the most connection with, because 2025 guys, get ready, because that class is going to be pretty ridiculous for FSU based on where they're leaning. I mean, they got 3 guys in there. I won't go through all of them because you guys can read on the PRB and the front page. We did a feature on the 2025 offensive targets to watch, and there's like 3 or 4 that are 2025 offensive linemen. They're all top tier. So I think they feel really good about that 2025 class. So I think they just want to get 2 guys that you're completely sold on and that have a high development skill set of when you get them the way you want them, they're going to make a strong, strong impact in this FSU offense.
So I'll ask you about how they put a period on the 2024 class. You're kind of talking about it right there. But before we get there, folks, if you haven't joined warchant.com, what are you waiting for? Look at this crazy deal. Folks, next Wednesday, July the 19th, we have a Warchant Day for members of the website, warchant.com only. You head over to garnetandgold.com. They're locally owned. They're run by people who support the Florida State program and have for decades. They're a fantastic outfit when it comes to supporting Florida State. We have a lot of companies and sponsors like that work with us at warchant.com. But, gear ain't cheap, everybody. And so when you can get 25% off the college vault, that almost in one fell swoop pays for a membership at warchant.com. On top of that, these Warchant Days are going to happen once a month. And then also, every purchase you make in between Warchant Days is 10% off at Garnet and Gold. Michael, you've been around these parts a long time.
Yeah.
That is big time news for Florida State fans, right?
Yeah, that's the big deal. I've already had friends hitting me up like, "How can I get there? What can I do?" By the way, there's 2 locations I know of. One on Pensacola, one across the street from Governor Square Mall. It's the one I go to. If I want to look at some stuff from, but it's a great deal. You get Warchant coverage, you get a deal, plus you get some cool gear. And it's the best time you can get it because the season's just around the corner. Fall camp's about to start. Got a top 10 program. Going to kick off the season at LSU. You want to have your good gear when you go over there to Orlando. So it's a great deal. I mean, it's phenomenal. So I jump on it as quick as you can because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people,
That's right.
jumping on it.
Yeah, we send you a code if you're a member, and that's how you get it done. So if you like the vintage logo, I call it the old logo. People call it the logo. But if you like it, you can see it there on the top right of the screen. Become a member of warchant.com today. Again, it's going to pay for itself over the year and then some, everybody. So, Michael, putting a footnote on this 2024 class from the offensive line perspective, you already pivoted 2025 in the high school ranks, but does that mean that Florida State wouldn't dip into the portal? You think the portal might be a play here to round out the classes we get into next year?
Yeah, I think there's going to be pretty activity. I think they're going to want a pure center that they'll go in there because you obviously have Maurice Smith, but I think he's probably graduating, or if I'm not mistaken. So you're going to need some guys. They want at least 2 guys in there from the center position. I could see them getting 2 from the portal, but we'll see. I think definitely 1. So I think they're going to focus on that interior. Might add like 2 or 3 from the portal. Probably 2. I would say that would put them in a fine position. But I definitely think they're going to be active to fill those little gaps that they feel like they can fill. But these 2 guys, adding them gives them great pieces that they can bring along the way they want. That's why you got those guys last year, the Casey Roddicks, Jeremiah Byers, and those guys can Keandre, I forget his last name. Yeah, he's the one that in there. So you got these 3 guys that are going to help you. So now you got your corner pieces for the youth in the future, and then you fill in the gaps kind of with the rest of the class. I think with 2024.
There it is. There are a lot of reasons to hit the like button underneath this video. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and hit subscribe to Warchant TV. That's always free. Now you head over to warchant.com. You'll actually get your money back and then some by spending at Garnet Gold. Could you imagine a Warchant day around Christmas time? My God, the savings are going to be out of this world. Florida State, as of a couple days ago, Thursday around dinner time, 0 offensive line commits in their class for 2024. As of now, 2 offensive line commits in their 2024 class. They got the pieces they liked. And if you see Michael between now and say, August 5th, maybe August 7th, somewhere in there, 3 or 4 more times, that means the momentum keeps on going up for Florida State in the recruiting ranks. So until the next time we reconvene for a commitment, he's Michael. I'm Tom. This is Warchant TV. We will talk to you next time.